Hello and welcome to HBM's UFO Corner about the Kecksburg UFO sighting and the mystery surrounding it. Nearly 50 years later, Kecksburg UFO sighting remains mystery. People claim they saw a fireball in sky, but no one knows what object was or where it is today. Mount Pleasant Township, Pennsylvania. The mystery has lingered over a local village for almost half a century. That should actually be nearly 60 years now, but this article was written in 2013. It's a story without an ending and without answers. The gorgeous countryside of Kecksburg was interrupted on December 9, 1965. Some say they saw an orange streak in the sky, specifically a metallic object with strange markings. In hundreds of reports, eyewitnesses said the object landed in a wooded area, but it's not known publicly where that object actually is today. Many still question if it ever existed. UFO researcher Stan Gordon is hooked in the investigation. In 54 years, he's interviewed hundreds of people about that night. So these people, most of them don't even know each other. But what they don't know is so many of these people gave me those little details of what they experienced that night in 1965. And so many of those details confirm other people's accounts, said Gordon. Ron Struble stood on the hillside that night in 1965 for hours. I was up here for at least 2 or 3 hours standing right here, he said. Struble said he saw the military guarding the area, not letting anyone close, eventually hauling the object away. The government initially said it was never there. In later reports, the Air Force reported what landed that night was a meteor. But UFO revelers aren't convinced. So what we have, what witnesses described was a large acorn-shaped object falling out of the sky. And they said it was a fireball. Now, was it a UFO? That's a good question. There are those. Why would the government be involved with a meteor? Maybe they collected the quote unquote meteor, or perhaps the UFO, whatever it was. Nobody really knows what it was. the most the most prolific and current investigator of the Kecksburg case is Stan Gordon. Definitely, no question about that. UFO case article: background on the Kecksburg incident. Summary: an object landed near the tiny town of Kecksburg, Pennsylvania on December 9, 1965. It was observed as a fireball in the sky across several U.S. states and Canada. An object landed near the tiny town of Kecksburg, Pennsylvania on December 9, 1965. It was observed as a fireball in the sky across several U.S. states and Canada. 4 witnesses have provided independent, corroborated descriptions of the object and its location in the Kecksburg woods. Dozens of others, including firefighters, newspaper reporters, and the news director of the radio station WHJB, described the military presence at the crash site. Some observed the cordoning off of the area and the retrieval of an object transported by an army truck. Many witnesses have provided signed statements from investigator Stan Gordon, who has been working on the case for now it'll be almost 6 decades. Nearly 6 decades. I'm not sure when this article was written, but it's an older article, as you can tell, because it says for over 3 decades. But it's been nearly 6 decades. At the scene, officials told some residents that a meteorite had crashed. The next day, the U.S. government declared that nothing fell that night and nothing was found. This is the official U.S. government position. However, eyewitness reports indicate that something fell, and the object appeared to move slowly and make several turns before landing. In all likelihood, the object was either a highly advanced space probe or an unknown object from outer space. Okay, if witnesses are describing something that turned several times, made several turns, then that would seem to not indicate a meteorite. Well, here's something, a little follow up from last week. The files of Project Blue Book, the official Air Force investigation of UFOs terminated in 1969, state that no space debris entered our atmosphere that day. Aluminum-type fragments were retrieved in Michigan and sent to Project Blue Book. Where are they now? A Blue Book memo says that no object was found in Pennsylvania. Blue Book only had a secret clearance and had the role of reporting information to the public. It is likely that the retrieval of this object was classified higher than secret, and thus Blue Book may not have been informed. We have no idea if the fragments had anything to do with the object in question. So, Project Blue Book just said, no, nothing fell out into our atmosphere. But obviously, something fell into our atmosphere. If several witnesses saw it, and if they can credit their own senses, I'm sure these people are not crazy or lying. They saw something. Now, again, the fact that it made several turns would seem to negate the possibility of it being a meteorite. I don't think meteorites can turn. Not independently, anyway. UFO crashed at Kecksburg, the untold story at MUFON, April 16th. Posted Thursday, April 11th, 2013 at 3:23 p.m. Eastern Time. Here's a mock-up of what may have been seen by those local residents on December 9th, 1965. Documentary Kecksburg, the Untold Story featuring Stan Gordon. In 1965, an acorn-like object with a fiery tail swept low across the town Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, and crashed to a wooded area just south of town. Dozens of people witnessed this object, and several rushed to the crash site. Just minutes later, police and military arrived and cordoned off the area, barring spectators, even the property owner and his family. Learn the details about this famous Pennsylvania event as told by Stan Gordon, the MUFON researcher who brought this story to light in the 92 video Tuesday, April 16th at Tredyffrin Public Library, Stratford. The free meeting is at 6:30 p.m. Now, where this is, I was Pennsylvania. It says Pennsylvania right here. Okay, so that was Pennsylvania. It's an interesting case. It really is. It's a fascinating case. One that doesn't have easy answers, that's for certain. Is there a government cover-up? Well, there would seem to be if they're claiming it was a meteorite, just a meteorite. There would seem to be some sort of conspiracy theory going on, and a cover-up. That's my assessment of it anyway. And that's going to do it for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are the heart of the show. Next week, I'm going to be discussing the late, great Stanton Friedman. So until next week, y'all be good or be good at it. This is HBM's UFO Corner.